Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Wait, hold up. Let me get in. Let me get in the photo too. I hope they got that on live. Let's get in the photo. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that you all are here at the New Orleans Jazz Museum. On behalf of the New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, we're so delighted to have this partnership, yes. For the visitors that may have come and tuned into this program in person, you're probably wondering why is it so packed today? Well, we have a very special organization that has supplied really me this opportunity and this job to be here, and that's the Greening Youth Foundation. So give it up for them. They are a nonprofit organization that provides internships for underrepresented communities, and they kind of plant them in all type of organizations and like National Park Service and so many other bureaus within the parks. So we're so glad to have them here, and we're so glad to host them. So we're going to get started with this program. But before we do that, I want to take care of some house rules. Please silence your cell phones so you don't interrupt the program. We got a great concert for you all. And you're probably, for the visitors that are unfamiliar with New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, where we're a park that's mission is based in preserving, promoting, and protecting New Orleans jazz origins, the culture, and the history. And we are a global leader of promoting this American art form. And so we have concerts every day that we're open, Tuesday through Saturday. And so this is our first program for the week, and this is our Arrowhead Jazz Band. And so I'm going to welcome up the other Rangers, and that is Hunter Miles Davis on drums, who was also, like myself, we were a former GYF intern, so this is a really special program for us. Then we have Mr. Kerry Lewis on bass. Yes. He unfortunately isn't a GYF, well, wasn't a GYF intern, but he definitely has went around the U.S. traveling and touring, so he's definitely a special being. And then we have our guest musicians who we like to share our resources with, and so we have Jamil Sharif on trumpet. Joshua Starkman on guitar. And Shay Pierre, who will be playing the piano. This is one of the few times where park rangers and guest musicians actually equal out. It's even today. Sometimes the guests outnumber the rangers, and sometimes we outnumber the guests. So it's a really special program again. We're going to get this show started off with a tune called On the Sunny Side of the Street. Get your coat and grab your hat. Leave your worries on that doorstep and just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat and that happy tune in your sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues, 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 blues on parade. But I am not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. My rover just crossed over. If I never seen, I know I'll be rich as Rockefeller with gold dust all on my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But I am not afraid. My rover just crossed over. If I never had to see it, I know I'd be rich as rock, fellow with gold dust all on my feet, on the sunny side of the street. Oh my, thank goodness for this amazing band. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I wanted to curate this set list to highlight different subgenres that kind of involve jazz. So this is traditionally, On the Sunny Side of the Street is a traditional jazz song, but we kind of put in a different setting, different groove, and we kind of played it in a shuffle feel. But normally, this song will be performed as a traditional song. So we're going to move to something that reflects what a traditional jazz song would sound like, and that is After You've Gone. Because you can't come to New Orleans and not hear traditional or trad jazz. that's after you've gone, after you've gone away. After you've gone and you left me crying, yes, that's after you've gone. There's no denying you feel blue. Yes, you're gonna feel sad. You'll miss the cutest park guy you ever had. Oh, there will come a time, oh, don't you forget it. There will come a time when you're going to regret So that's what a traditional kind of sound. Now, we don't have an actual, this is not a traditional jazz band. Normally, a traditional jazz band consists of, and you can correct me on this, would be either a trumpet or a cornet player, a clarinet, and a trombone, then either a banjo, piano, and drums and bass. But this is a different style. So it's not going to exactly sound like a traditional band because the instrumentation is different. But this is the song that a traditional jazz band would play. And now we're going to move on to what swing would sound like, and that came around the 30s and 40s. And to represent that era, we got Give Me the Simple Life. One, two, three, four. I don't believe in fretting or grieving. Why mess around with strife? I never was cut out to step and stride out. Give me the simple life. Some like the high road, I take the low road, free from the cares of life. Sounds corny and seedy, but yes indeedy. Give me the simple life. A cottage small is all I'm after, not one that's spacious and wide. A home that's full of joy and laughter, and the ones you love inside. You take the high road, I take the low road, free from the cares of life. Sounds corny and seedy, but yes indeed, give me the simple life. simple life. A cottage small is all I'm after, not one that's spacious and quiet. A home that's full of joy and laughter, and the ones you love inside. You take the high road, I take the low road, free from the castles of life. Sounds corny and seedy, but yes indeedy, give me the simple life. Yeah. All right. So that's what swing is all about. And this next tune was written by a composer named Mongo Santamaria. And this song kind of was predates the Latin jazz era. And so it combines this element of mixed meter. So you'll feel a little bit of 6/8 and 4/4 for all of my musicians out there. So yes, this is Afro Blue. Where the 4 is, right? It's right here. Dream of a land my soul is from. Dream of a land my soul is from. Dream of a land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on the drum. Shades of delight, cocoa hue, rich as the night, Afro blue. A Lincoln boy, beautiful girl. A Lincoln 12, beautiful world. Shades of delight, cocoa hue, rich as the night, Afro blue. Mr. Miles Davis on drums. Dream of a land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on the drum. Shades of the light, cocoa hue, rich as the night, Afro blue, Afro blue. A Lincoln boy, beautiful girl, a Lincoln girl, beautiful world. Shades of the light, cocoa hue, rich as the night, Afro blue. Afro blue. The two lovers dance face to face with undulating grace. They slowly dance and slip away to something new to make. Shades of delight, cocoa hue, rich as the night, Afro blue, Afro blue, Afro blue, Afro blue, Afro blue. On the drum, on the, don't think a thing, So I can't really put a name to what that is, but a mixed meter song. Yeah. So this is the time where we break away from the music, and we like to open up the floor for any questions that you may have. This is what makes the National Park Service such a valuable resource, and what makes our program stand out outside of any performance on Frenchman Street is because we get to answer questions that you may have about New Orleans jazz music, New Orleans culture. How did this genre come about? So please don't all go at once. Just raise your hand, or oh, we see a question right there. Awesome. About 45 minutes.
2 o'clock. No. Since 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yeah. Bourbon? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And to also add a second layer to that question as well, Mr. Carey and Hunter and I, we're all Park Service. And so we get to work with each other more often than we do the rest of these guys, but they all play throughout the city and abroad and internationally in their own right. Actually, I believe Shay and Joshua has a gig on Thursday at Chikiwawa, so they also play, and we also come together at different times. But yeah, it's a different band. Actually, we're gonna have a different band next week, so you gotta come back to see who that will be. Next question. Oh, I know y'all ain't shy. All right, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, that's, you got to be a musician. You a musician? No, he's a musician. That's, that's just, that's, thank you. That's just, we know when a musician does that. I wasn't thinking, I started hearing that. That's called cliche, and when you insert a melody in another song. So, you hear that quite often with musicians, but yeah, thank you.
Yes, I see your question. I got another one. 1, 2, 3. That's a misconception that jazz is kind of freestyled or improvised. If we were to get up here and didn't have any plan, oh my goodness, it would be a show. Um, but there is a portion, and I will speak to that. And actually, does anyone else want to talk on that before I go?
It's kind of like, did you guys just rehearse what you just said to each other? Sort of, except there would probably be more of a pre-discussed topic beforehand. That's kind of what it's like. But in this, if you want to call it jazz, if you want to call it American improvised music, Black American music, whatever you want to call it, it can range anywhere from playing the melody to a show tune, which is kind of what a lot of these songs are, is songs from 1960 and before, written for Broadway, that were the popular music of the time, and we improvise on the chord changes and the melody in our mind and clicheing, things like that, whatever musically is coming through us. But it can go all the way out to like free jazz and avant-garde, if you're thinking of Ornette Coleman or something like that. There's really all kinds of ways to conversate and communicate, essentially, but it's all based around language, right? So there's my idea.
And then, so I come up with a set list, and these songs have, like you said, chords and a melody. So it's already, we know the form. So usually if we know the form and know how this song lays out, whether that is A-A-B-A or A-B-A-B or A-B-A-B, there's a form that we follow so that, we know which direction. So if Mr. Sharif here solos over the two A's, I know to come in at the B section. So there's always some type of form, unless it's free jazz and it's just up there living life. Yeah. So 3. Especially here in New Orleans. Yeah.
It's so important. I like the sound, like the groove, the resonance, the quality that y'all bring to it. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to record that and send that to people. I saw a question right there. Then I'm gonna come to you. Okay. I'll let someone else take that question.
For me, it's probably the late Ellis Marsalis. He's a legend. He used to teach me when I was in high school. I was a junior in high school, and I was paying the lessons out of my own pocket. And once he found out, he let me study with him for free. Definitely Ellis. He's the first person that I ever tried to sound like.
It takes a village. I mean, when you live in a place like New Orleans, it's about culture, right? And I think about culture not as some sort of abstract concept, but rather like, in science, when they talk about collecting cultures and putting them in a petri dish, it's kind of like what it's like here. It's like there's some sort of essence that you belong to as a collective of people. So if you live here for a long time, like myself, Shay's from here, and Jamil, of course, is from here, Carrie, you just start absorbing how to do the thing by being around it and by gigging and working a lot of the time. So for me, I went to school, so I had professors that were incredible, but for me it's harder to answer if there's just one, So it's really just a lot of amazing elders here and culture bearers and things like that.
Just give somebody.
Somebody. We have to give them. God, I can't.
Yeah.
The city of New Orleans. That's where I came from.
My biggest influence was my father. He was a great trumpet player. As I've said before, music has been in my family since the late 1800s. But originally, I didn't start off, getting into music, but just being around him and just going to different performances and see him play with different people that left an indelible impression on me. So, and of course, all the great musicians from Louis Armstrong to Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, on and on. But the most important influence has been my father.
Well, I don't know if I really need this thing, but anyway, immediately on my instrument would be 5 teachers that I can name off the bat, and that would be from A.J. Goomer to Mike D'Antoni, Bill Huntington, Walter Payton, and shoot, I can't think of anybody else other than I'm not on my instrument, but that was very influential in my approach to not just music but life in general. Would be one that I can name right off the bat is my father. To put the foot in my, Secondly, someone who became close to our family was my high school band director, Edwin Harrell Hampton. He was another one that had another boot. And if you know anything about Edwin Hampton and the St. Augustine Marching 100 and any band that was in that school at that time, yeah, that was very, very, very extremely influential.
Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. I guess my main influence, starting off would of course be the person that is not myself but is in my name, Miles Davis. Just being a great musician, and because I listened to a lot of his music, it kind of propelled me into this genre and liking this style of music. But not on all of these people are not on my instrument. Although I do love drummers and percussionists. Chris Dave was a huge influence, and then Yusuf Days, as of now, is one of the people that I'm really listening to. But outside of my instrument, all of these guys, individuals, are all influencing me as I play in the moment. I'm listening to a lot of different things. I'm listening to Shay and the way he's playing his melodies and playing his chords. I'm listening to Jamil as he's playing and phrasing his horn, and then I have Kerry listening to his backbeat and kind of keeping the pocket. So all of these guys are influential on the bandstand at the same time, and that's one of my favorite things about playing this genre of music. Being able to kind of create in the moment.
Oh, I can't take all y'all questions. We're gonna be here until tomorrow. But awesome. Oh, I think I saw someone had their hand up before. It was you. Have I always sang this type of music? No. I actually started pretty late, and I didn't start until, well, not really, in high school. Before, I was listening to Lil Wayne, Adele. I was listening to, Etta James. I had a eclectic type of music vocabulary. But yeah. I think you had a comment behind. What's the? Thank you. Oh, thank y'all. That's awesome. Please, after the show, I'm going to record all of y'all's testimonials. And thank you again. We have to get back to the music, and of course, if y'all have time after the show, you can ask us questions. We just want to give you some more music, and one of the elements that influenced New Orleans sound is one of the ragtime. Actually, a couple of things that influenced New Orleans sound. That's ragtime, and there's the marches, and then there's classical. New Orleans was one of the first cities that had opera houses here. And one of the operas that I like is Porgy and Bess. And I got a request. I think he's here. I don't know. Yes, you asked for Summertime. And there was someone else as well, but you're the most important person that asks about Summertime. All right, so we'll do this dedicated to George. Thank you. and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Ooh, your daddy is rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of this morning, you're gonna rise up singing. I said the catfish be jumping. I said the shrimp be jumping. And the oysters and the crabs too. They be jumping. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Don't you cry. Don't you cry. I said, hush, little baby, don't you cry. Don't you cry, 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 So hush, little baby. Don't you cry. Looking at my Rollie, it's about that time. It's just my Fitbit. But we're going to take you out with a song called Bourbon Street Parade. And I encourage you, for the families that come here, do not take your kids to Bourbon Street. Don't take them there. But for Green and You Foundation, don't tell the staff, but they may be going out with y'all. No, I'm kidding. But thank y'all for coming. I want to, again, shout out to the band Shapey here on piano. Joshua Starkman. Have a great day. That's it. Jamil Sharif on trumpet. Carrie Lewis Sr., y'all. Hunter Miles Davis. I'm Jay Perdue. Yeah. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming through. For all the visitors, please check out our visitor center down at 916 North Peters. We'll be there for the rest of this week and next week, and then we move down to 419. So thank you for coming. Please check us out on Instagram and all social media platforms at NOLA Jazz. NHP. Our website is available, and we have programs for the rest of the week at 2 p.m. We're going to take y'all out with Bourbon Street Parade. And again, if you feel moved to, I'm not asking you, but, just dance and clap along with us, all right? It's more like not an ask. All right. So I like to dance, y'all, if y'all can't tell. So if y'all feel moved to, I want y'all to get up on y'all feet and move with us, all right? Come on, right there. sure it's pretty. Whole lot of historic scenes. I'll take you. I just might parade you down Bourbon Street. We'll go to the hot spots and meet all the big shots down on Bourbon Street. Yeah. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. See y'all next time. See y'all next time.